Okay, hi everyone. So the purpose of this video lecture is to cope up with our missed meetings because of different circumstances such as city meet and the preparation for our intramural. So I hope that this video lectures that I will going to upload for the following days will help us to at least cope up with our meetings or discussion because of those mentioned circumstances or mentioned activities. So let me just present my PowerPoint presentation so that the I can start the discussion. So, ayan. Okay. So, if hoping that my memory will not fail me, yung last na discussion natin is all about arts. And obviously, our subject caters for components, which is music, arts, PE, and health. So, again, aside from the video lectures that I will going to upload, I will might also um, giving reviewers for the third quarters para maging fair din naman sa part ninyo. Okay, so without much ado, let me discuss our topic under arts. So first meeting, so there's supposedly there will be a motivational activity pero hindi natin siya gagawin. So our topic under arts is all about the arts of neoclassical and romantic period. So ano nga ba ang neoclassical arts and what is the difference between neoclassical arts and classical arts? I do believe that for the last quarters we discussed about what is classical arts. Okay, so before we before we tackle the definition of neoclassical arts, okay, let's review kung ano nga ba ang difference ng neoclassical and classical arts. At meron nga ba silang pagkakaiba? At kung meron man, ano naman yung pagkakatulad din nila? Okay, so before that, let me present to you the objectives. So at the end of the lesson, you students should be able to explain the arts of neoclassical period, identify the famous artists of the neoclassical period, enumerate the characteristic of arts during the neoclassical period, reflect and derive the mood, idea, or message from selected artworks, acknowledge the artwork of the different artists, and create artwork guided by teaching and styles of neoclassical period. So as I've mentioned, we will going to we will going to dissect kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng neoclassical art. So let's try to compare what is neoclassical art from classical arts. Okay, so I here two portrait example under classical art is Madame Recamier, and under neoclassical art is we have the portrait of Princess Albert de Borgli. Okay, de Borgli. Ngayon, let's try to compare yung portrait na dalawa. If we try to physically dissect or to describe the characteristic of the two portraits in terms of theme, okay, yung tema nila, they are the same. Okay, um both portrait uses a girl or use girl, women. Okay, both are very naturalistic. Okay, kasi tao. But the technique that they use is completely different. Okay, if we try to describe under classical art, we can actually the both of them we can identify that that is a human. Okay, kasi yung pagkakagawa, yung kabuuan ng artwork, if we try to compare classical to neoclassical art, is that classical art, yung technique na ginamit is mas hindi refined, kumbaga. It is decent, but compared to classical art, Nakikita niyo yung bawat detalye? Okay, kita niyo yung bawat detalye? Yung bawat detalye ay napaka-pulido. Okay? Yung buhok na nga lang, yung damit. Okay? Napakaayos ang pagkakagawa. Okay? Kumbaga dito, yes, it is good. I myself, na hindi ako artist, hindi ako painter, hirap na akong gawin yan. Hirap na akong gawin to. Okay? Hirap na akong gawin to. The combination of colors, the shadowing, ganyan. Hirap na ako. But how much more here that is very precise, very close to perfection or even perfect. Okay? Hindi ko sinasabing hindi perfecto It's just that the technique that they use is different. Okay? So aside from that physical observation about the two artwork, now let's try to really define what is classical from neoclassical. Okay, so classical art. So from ancient Rome and Greece. Okay, so classical art originated in ancient Greece or ancient Rome and Greece. Okay, it focused on beauty, harmony, and proportion, and emphasizes on the following. Number one, realism. As I've mentioned a while back, both portrait talks about or focus about or the theme that they use is human, realism, naturalism. Okay? Another, perfection in human. Okay, nakita natin kanina. Okay, kung paano nila ginawa. Okay, paano nila pinaint yung portrait ng babae. Okay? It is exactly what we saw on our body or a natural tao. Wala naman tayong nakita kanina na yung babae kanina is meron siyang pakpak or meron siyang buntot ng sirena. It's human. Perfection in human and natural form. As we said, pag sinabi natin classical art class, majority of the artwork or majority of the painting being painted themes in classical period is human. Tao po. Okay? So as just to summarize, classical art originated in ancient Greece and Rome, focus on ideas on human form, harmony, balance, and proportion. Theme includes or often includes, okay, ayan, naturalism, human, heroes, daily lives, or even what do you call this, mythology. Okay, yes, myth is not really realistic, but if we try to describe myth gods, okay, or god and goddesses of Greece and Roman, they look like humans still. Okay, now let's try to discuss neoclassical art. So what is neoclassical art? So inspired by classical art. Okay, kaya we notice that kanina a while back, they're almost the same. There is just this what we call mo- um what do you call it? Development or not really motivation, development, but innovation rather under neoclassical art from classical art. Okay, emerged in the 18th century and revived classical ideas, but used the following. Number one, cleaner lines. Kaya napansin natin kanina, mas refined, mas pulido yung mga linyang ginamit under neoclassical art compared to classical art. Number two, simpler in composition and moral themes. Okay? So just to to summarize what is neoclassical art is that it emerged in the 18th and 19th century as a revival of classical art or style, emphasizes order, simplicity, and moral seriousness inspired by classical ideas. Often feature historical and moral themes promoting virtue and civic duty. Ano ba yung mga moral themes? We have examples here like sacrifice for a greater good. Okay, ganyan yung mga tema nila. Number two, duty and loyalty, courage and patriotism, virtue over personal desires, and self-discipline and restraint. Okay, usually the themes that emphasizes by classical arts are those moral themes, or yes, moral themes or concepts. Okay, so as we will going to discuss the topic under neoclassical, I will be providing different example demonstrating or promoting these moral themes. Okay, so that is classical arts and neoclassical arts. Now, let's proceed to famous artists that represents the neoclassical period. So, who are they? So, we have Jack Louis David, and we have Jean Auguste or August Dominic Ingres. Okay, so these two individuals or artists, painters, are really dominant during the year of neoclassical or the era of neoclassical period. A minute. Okay, so let me just continue. So we have Jack Louis David, 1748 to 1825. Isa siyang Pranses. Okay, French. He was born in the wealthy family in Paris on August 30, 1748. He had excellent education in arts and literature. He used his excellent knowledge of Roman and Greek culture in expressing his political views against the French monarchical system and joined militant movement. So, kung baga, he uses, okay, Louis David uses or used rather his talent in or yes talent skills in painting to awaken or somehow to serve as an eye opener for other French people to see, okay, the other side of ruler of their country. Because if we say monarchical, di ba, sa Europe, it is not like us here in the Philippines that we select or we vote, we choose our leaders. In them, if you are part of the royal family, okay, you have the privilege to rule the country. So in his case, he uses his talent to really show or to be, as I've mentioned, as an eye opener to show to other people in France that there is really a katiwalian, or let's say there is a other side of of these people ruling them. Okay? So, kumbaga, kung si Jose Rizal nagsusulat siya, okay, kay David naman nagpipinta siya. Dun sa end, dun sa mga paintings niya, pinapakita niya dun yung mga observation niya that this um monarchical family or from the higher from the higher status, okay, that they have this negative also in their system. I mean, negative things that really exist in their system. Okay, so he created two famous paintings, which are the first one, we have the death of Socrates or Socrates. Okay, that he painted this one in the year 1787. Okay, subject. Okay, philosopher Socrates or Socrates willingly drinks poison as a punishment for his beliefs. Okay, theme. Papasok dito yung moral themes natin. Okay, theme is that commitment to truth and reasons, moral integrity and virtue. Three, sacrifice in the pursuit of justice. What is the importance of this painting is that highlights enlightenment values and the power of personal conviction. Okay, this in the painting you can see Socrates died. Okay, I mean this is Socrates pala. Socrates. And this is the poison. And this is his people. Okay? But as we mentioned, neoclassical highlighted moral themes. So instead Socrates up until now na hindi natin siya kilala and hindi natin siya um, kalahi, but we study his life, we study his what do you call this one, his influence, his knowledge, his creation, okay, inventions, okay, concepts. Sikat siya. Up until now na kahit patay na siya, sikat siya kasi marami siyang proponent, marami siyang nagawa. So, and to be like him in this era, at kaalyado mo yung mga leaders, like you are a leader and in your side we have Socrates, then you became more powerful. But in the painting, it says that he is willing to die rather than to believe to a principle that he doesn't believe in. He rather choose to die. So it's all about commitment sa katotohanan. It's all about integrity, okay, than popularity. It's all about sacrificing what you believe rather than um, promoting what you don't believe. Okay, so pasok siya. The painting really, um, it is a product of neoclassical era or style. Okay, next one, we have the other one. We have the title of the painting is The Oath of Horatai. Okay, he painted this one 1748. Subject: three brothers, the Horatai, taking an oath to defend Rome while their family mourns in the background. Okay, so ano yung tema? Let's see if the theme is under neoclassical: loyalty and patriotism. Number two, duty and sacrifice for the greater good. Number three, conflicts between personal emotions and civic responsibility. Okay, what is the importance or significance of the painting that um, David, okay, wants to highlight is that represent enlightenment, ideals of honor rather, reason, and the importance of collective duty over individual desire. Okay, so as we all know that living in their era, in their year, war is very predominant to achieve power, to achieve um, not really popularity, but the image that the country that they live in is they are very strong. So the only way to really, let's say, gain power is to do war. Okay, and yes, it is like if you conquer a country or a place, it is considered really a victory from your country. But ang kakambal kasi nun is that other places also, when they hear your achievement, they will try to get it from you. So habang pinapalaki nila yung empire nila and habang nagiging matunog yung pangalan ng Roma, other places want also to compete with them. So war is really a natural thing previously, okay, nung unang-unang panahon. Okay? So here, it shows that the three brothers wholeheartedly accept their fate or their duty in their country, that they will going to fight with for their country until their last breath. Because it is true, even now, in our generation, kahit hindi na ganun karampant yung pakikipaggera, okay, specifically in our region in Asia, still, kapag sundalo ka, kapag pulis ka, it is given, meron silang terminology or meron silang paniniwala or meron silang kasabihan na kapag isa kang sundalo, nakahukay na yung kabilang or isang paa mo sa lupa. Why? Because hindi mo alam kung kailan ka mabubuhay kapag may engkwentro, kung mabubuhay ka pa pala, kung mabubuhay ka pa rin kapag may engkwentro. Okay? So, ganun siya. So, as you can see in the paintings, these are the three brothers and this is the officer telling that informing that there will be a war, there will be a there will be a war. So they need to fight for their country, and these are the families of these three brothers mourning. Okay, like umiyak na sila because they felt like babalik pa ba sila, yung mga kapatid nila, yung mga asawa nila or asawa ba nila yang mga yan or anak ba nila yan. Okay? So babalik pa kaya sila, makakabalik pa ba sila after the war, after the fight? So pasok pa rin siya sa idea or concept ng neoclassical, okay? Loyalty, patriotism, pagmamahal sa bayan, okay? Duty and sacrifice for the greater goods. Okay, you are willing to sacrifice your lives in order to achieve greater greater opportunity or better lives for more for other people from your nation. Okay, conflict between personal and emotion. Meron silang choice sana na hindi sumali, but they don't entertain their personal desire. Instead, they chose. Okay, it's non-negotiable to choose civic responsibility. This is my responsibility for my country and I need to fight for my country. So, pasok pa rin siya sa theme ng neoclassical. Okay? So that is the two creation or famous creation of Jacques Louis David. Okay? Next one, we have Jean Auguste Dominique Ingres. Okay, who is he? So the second artist that we will going to talk about is Jean Auguste Dominique Ingres, 1780 to 1867, still from France, sa sang Frances. He did not join the militant movement like David. He had a strong admiration for a strong personality of post-revolution leader, Emperor Napoleon. Okay? He was highly gifted artist. His academic success went as far as being appointed president of the most prestigious art university in France. Okay, if we try to compare the two artists, if if David joined the militant movement, which is more on wars, okay, also his painting is more on, yes, more on military movement. Okay, Ginag Dominic Igres focused more on academe. Okay, because maybe he believed that education is also another way to really show about integrity and patriotism and moral themes or moral or values. Okay, so as based from the discussion, I mean based from the PowerPoint, number two, he had a strong admiration for strong personality of post-revolution or revolution leader Emperor Napoleon. Kaya one of his creation is Napoleon. Okay, so let's try to discuss his paintings. So we have his first painting here. We have the Oedipus and the Sphinx. Okay, 1806 or 1808 rather, he painted this beautiful portrait. Okay, subject, Oedipus confront the Sphinx, solving her riddles to continue his journey. So if we try to to discuss or to describe the painting, it is a combination of naturalism and what do you call this one? Um, Naturalism or realism because there is a human, but also we can see here a sphinx, which is a body of a lion, a big cat, okay, a wings of a bird or an angel, and a face of a human. There is no really or there is no such thing like that sa totoong buhay kahit noong unang panahon. So it is a mythological creature. So what is the theme? Okay, triumph for intellect and reason over mystery and danger. Okay, because Oedipus needs to solve the riddle in order to the riddle of the Sphinx in order to go to the next, let's say, next level or next stage. Okay, so again, if we try to describe the personality of Dominic Igres, he is more on intellectual. Okay, so exploration of destiny and human struggle. And number three, symbolism of knowledge as tool for overcoming challenges. Okay, significance of the creation is that it reflects neoclassical emphasis on mythological themes, logic, and human form. As I've mentioned kanina, there is a combination of realism and mythological creature creature here. Okay, so again, um Igres and David are totally different. They have totally different perspective in arts, but two of them based their arts still in the principles of neoclassical. Okay. Number two is we have the portrait of Napoleon of his imperial throne. Okay. Subject: Napoleon is depicted in full imperial regalia, seated on the grand throne, symbolizing his power and authority. Okay. So theme: absolute authority and divine right, grandeur and the legitimacy of Napoleon reign, and symbols of empire and tradition. Example: scepter, laurel, wreath, and robe. Okay, significance: showcase that neoclassical style's ability to glorify leaders and blending classical symbolism with contemporary political power. Okay, so these are the two creation or paintings of Jean Auguste Dominique Igres. Okay, from 1780 to 1867. Okay, so it's should be written arts of written assessment. So um will still, okay, under performance task, we'll still discuss with the grade 9 teachers if we will going to continue the performance task under arts. Okay, kasi your performance task in the field demonstration during the practice is one, and the final performance is another one. So there are only two. There are already two performance tasks. Okay, so yeah, so that is our topic for arts. Okay, so I will be creating another video lecture under PE and health. Okay.